Welcome to Installing SQL Server 2012, and this is going to be part one of probably a two-part video. Could be part three if I talk too much. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you screenshots here because it's easier to present it to you this way and have enough time to talk about it on each step than it is to actually go through the real live installation. So what I did is I've done the real live installation, took screenshots, and now I'll show you this. Now, in your machine, once you have downloaded the trial version or the evaluation version of SQL Server 2012, you want to then burn that to a DVD, burn that ISO to a DVD, or if you're in a virtual machine environment, you can point to that ISO file and you can see it as if it's a DVD. But either way, that's what I've done. I just burned it, put the DVD in the drive, and if you'll just wait for it to auto run a second, you will see this particular autoplay window pop up. And notice it says run setup exe, so I would just click on this and the install would then begin. Now I want to show you this because on my install I got this. Now my operating system was Windows Server 2008 release 2, 64-bit, and it let me know here that my computer does not meet the minimum requirements on the operating system. And it's telling you right here, I don't know if you can read this print, but it's telling me that I need Service Pack 1 or later installed on that R2, and I didn't have Service Pack 1. So I had to go out, download Service Pack 1, apply it to the server, and that only took an hour, hour and a half, right? And you know how it goes with Microsoft products and computers in general. And so after about another hour, I was ready to go and move to the next step. Now, once I clicked on Setup and SQL Server began to move through the process of installing, this is the first screen that you'll see. Now, I want you to notice here, let me back up. This is the planning stage, and you can see you can click on these as you go down through here and see the different stages. And under planning, each one of these are hypertext links out to Microsoft's website, or some of it might be local content. But here I can click and get my hardware and software requirements. I can click here and get security documentation, online release notes, how to get data tools, configuration checker, install upgrade advisor. You can read these. I don't need to read them to you. But there is a lot of information right here at your fingertips, just one mouse click away. And so I've made sure I've checked all of this stuff. I've read everything I want to read here. And so then I would click on installation, and that will bring up this page, this screen, and you'll notice installation is bold, and I have some choices. I can do a new SQL Server standalone installation, or I can add features to an existing installation, and you can see on my mouse a little hand pointer there. That's the one I chose. But note here that I could also choose a new SQL Server failover cluster installation. I could add a node to a failover cluster that I have out there, or I could upgrade from SQL Server 2005, 2008, or 2008 R2 up to SQL Server 2012. But again, we're going to choose standalone installation. And when you do that, it will then present you with the feature selection screen. Now on feature selection, this is where you're going to decide which components you're going to install. And if you remember back on the video that was entitled System Hardware Requirements, I was trying to determine how much disk space I would need, and if you remember, it depended on the components that I installed. Well, this is where I choose what components I'm going to install right here. And so here's what we want to do. On this screen for this course, we want to choose the database engine services, and you'll notice they're right here. And if you click this top one, it should choose all these for you. If it doesn't, just go ahead and grab those. Then we want SQL Server data tools. They're a little bit farther down in the list under shared features here. And so we would click this box, and you'll see a little checkbox when you click in it. And then we will click documentation components. And this is will give us our documentation functionality, load our prerequisites to use online documentation. And then the management tools down here. And you will notice right here that there is a management tools basic and a management tools complete. Now when you click basic, it should click complete, but just make sure that you get both of these. All right. Then you should have, at this point, chosen the features that you'll need for this course. You'll also notice down here, let me get my mouse back, there is some shared features directory for x86. Unless you have a good reason to change these, just leave them the way they are. Then you'll notice we'll move into what's called the installation rules. And SQL Server will go through and it will check. And notice we passed 2 checks. We didn't fail any. We didn't get any warnings. We didn't skip anything. And I can click on Show Details and see exactly what it was doing and exactly what it means. But I'll opted against that. And then we simply click. Notice, let me back up there and show you. We'll click Next right down here, and then we will proceed on to this screen. Now notice this is going to give me a recap of my disk space requirements. And what I want to do is stop right here. We'll end this at part 1. Join me in installing SQL Server 2012 part 2, and we will continue from this exact point.